Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back. Welcome to my channel. So this is gonna be my first time doing a mid-year freakout tag. I need to know who's creating these titles and these challenges because y'all couldn't think of another name. What's a freakout? Like, what is it like? Oh my god, I just been reading the best books ever. Like what? Like why would y'all name it? Whatever. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I'm Rena Swan. I don't even know if I just said that, but if I did, I have short-term memory loss. Not for real, but on some days I do for real. So yeah, I have been having a great year so far. Tapping into some really good books, and I'm going to share a few of my faves with you guys today. So let's just get into the questions, okay? Because we're here for a good time, not a long time. All right, so number one, best book you've read so far in 2024. Now, this question was really hard for me because I am very indecisive and I don't like to make decisions. I guess that would be the definition of indecisive. But yes, I don't like making decisions, and this put me in a very uncomfortable situation. But the best book that I've read so far is The Reformatory. Let me just say that the way that Tannerib, if I'm saying your name wrong, it just act like I'm not, okay? The way that she wrote this story, oh, my camera is falling. Oh my God. Oh my, the way she wrote, the way, you know what? I felt like my camera was getting lower and lower. I was like, why is it, okay, hold on. That was so ghetto. But like I was saying, the way that she wrote this story in such great detail, the character development, the emotions behind the storytelling, everything just really made you feel for the characters. She had me even feeling sorry for the ghost. Like she just takes you there, okay? So The Reformatory, it's thick. Little mama is thick. But if you're not a person that likes to read thick books, do the audiobook and just wash your dishes and listen, okay? I know you got some clothes to fold. You probably sitting over there looking at laundry right now. Just fold your clothes and listen, okay? Jesus. So the next question I have is book with the best plot twist. Now, the original question was best sequel that you've read this year, but I'm really just like a hit it and quit it type of reader. Like, I don't really be doing them sequels, and it just feel like too much commitment for me. So I changed the question to book with the best plot twist, and I gave it to Crazy by Octavia Grant. Now, granted, no pun intended, it's a novella, but the plot twist had me like, I know you fucking lying. I know you. That's how the plot twist had me. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to Miss Grant. She does her thing when it comes to that crazy, the crazy, you wanna read something crazy? Octavia Grant and Lynette King. Those two. Yeah. Okay, so next up we have new release you haven't read yet but want to. Okay. I'm a roll with Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman, who is the author of Bird Box. And I just happened to stumble upon this book. I was searching up something, a completely different book, and this one popped up, and I was like, whoa, this sounds real good. But basically, Incidents Around the House is about a haunted house, right, with an entity called the mama. So what's the crazy? Anyways, the mommy or whatever is an entity, and she keeps asking this little girl Bella, like, can I come inside your heart? Can I come inside your heart? And little Bella is trying to ignore her, but little mama, I'm gonna call the ghost, little mama, she is getting mad because she's like, you're not answering my questions, so now I'm about to mess with your family. So the book is written in the perspective of the child. And so I am really interested in reading this book because it sounds really dark and spooky. So I want to read it. I think I'm gonna wait till October during spooky season. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Sounds like a plan. All right. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. And I'm gonna go with a book that I've been seeing around. All you hoochies that's been getting arcs of this book, I wrote your name down. I got you on the list. Don't let me catch you out in the streets because I might jack you if you holding this book. But it is The Blonde Dies First by Joelle Willington. And I have been seeing it. It's such a pretty cover, even down to the nails on the cover that's holding the knife. It's just gorgeous. Like, I just want it for the cover. And it's coming out on the 30th of this month, I believe. But y'all, everybody's saying it's so good, it's so good. So we're gonna see. But the book is giving like slasher horror, teen horror vibes. And so yeah, I'm really interested in seeing that. But I really just am in love with the cover. So they always say don't judge a book by its cover, but I be judging. Ooh, this next one. Don't fight me, because I ain't been to fight in a minute, but I gets busy. But so don't fight me over this next one. So, biggest disappointment of 2024. I'm gonna have to give it to Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I ain't even finished the book. Libby sent it to me as a like, skip the line. So I might return to it because I just sent it back without finishing it. But it dragged, baby. It dragged. It dragged like y'all gonna drag me if you are a Riley Sager fan. But I did not like it. It dragged. He kept saying Hakuna Matata, dude. Like it was all yap and no thrill. Like, it was just hate. So I might come back to that. So yeah. Okay, so next up we have the biggest surprise of 2024, and I'm gonna give it to Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. Now, the reason why this was the biggest surprise is because I am not a romance girly. I am not. Like, every now and then I will read a romance just for the thrill of it, or lack thereof. But at my core, I'm not a romance girly. But I see everybody talking about this book on Book Talk, and I was like, all right, the cover's pretty. Everybody's talking about how juicy and good it is. So let me just read it. And I read it and I loved it. So basically, if you haven't already read this book, you have a female MC, a male MC, and they're on an island for a week celebrating a week of love. Her sister is getting married, right? Beautiful. But the gag is that her sister is marrying her ex. You heard that right. It's her sister. Her sister is marrying her ex. Yeah, so now the friend of said ex, they got some things going on. Okay, and it's just so good. So if you haven't read it, read it, okay? Because it's a really cute read. Okay, so next up we have favorite author. Now I like I said, I don't have favorite things because I'm indecisive. So this says favorite new author. So my favorite new author, if I had to choose, would be Brandon Massey. He is a thriller, horror writer. I won't even say horror, well, maybe. Yeah, thriller horror writer. And so far, I'm enjoying the books that I've read from him. He really gets busy with his pen. Like he really know how to write a good book. So he would be my new fave. Newest fictional crush. I only have one crush, and that is Rome from Only for the Week. He know how I feel. Like he know if I wasn't married, we would be like this, me and Rome. I just feel it. Like millionaire tech. Like what? Tech savvy. Tech me down. Okay. So newest favorite character. My newest favorite character would be Buddy Lee from Razorblade Tears. So if you haven't read Razorblade Tears, then where have you been? That's just like, it's so good. But Buddy Lee from that book, he was so funny and I loved everything about him. Razorblade Tears is about two dads who come together to find justice for their sons who were murdered. So I loved everything about Buddy Lee. He just kept the story flowing, and every time you saw him or read about him in a scene, you just knew you was in for a treat. So yeah, shout out to my nigga Buddy. Books that made you cry. Okay, so I have two. A Love Song for Ricky Wilde. Now, although that wasn't like my favorite book, once I got to the end and got to the juicy, it made me cry because I started thinking about my own mortality. And I was just like, oh, we all gonna die one day. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know why that book had me in my feelings, but it really, really did. And then another book that had me in my feelings was Fast by Millie Balazar. And that book deals with a lot of traumatic experiences that a young lady, little girl at the time, Caprice, goes through by the hands of a family member, and it's just traumatic. If you are a victim of SA or abuse, or if you just don't like hearing and reading stuff about that, I wouldn't recommend that to you because it is very, very dark. But it just had me like I was in the shower crying. Like, you know how traumatic, like how much of a tough read it has to be for me to be crying in the shower? Go on to the next question. All right, so the next question is a book that made you happy. A book that made me happy was Curvy Girl Summer by Daniel Allen, and I really, really enjoyed listening to the narrator. I don't even know how to pronounce that lady name. Siobhan, child. What's that lady name? I'm gonna put it on the thing because I don't. Yeah. But listening to her voice and how she was able to narrate the men's character and the women in the book, I'm like, oh, she is so good. And I could just listen to her read the ABCs and count to 100. Like, her voice is just so sultry and it just made me happy. And it was an arc that I had received before the book was released, and so I was really excited to read it because I had heard about it a lot, and I was like really, really happy that Danielle wrote a character about a plus-size woman in the dating world, but she did it in a way that wasn't demeaning or degrading or had a lot of stereotypes that you would normally see when it comes to Black women who are curvy. And so I really enjoyed it. and Danielle did her thing. So yeah, most beautiful book you bought so far this year or received. And I got Thick of Love by Danielle Marcus. Now, look at this cover. Like, if I could be this cover, like, gorgeous, put me on the, I don't even do the, just gorgeous. Look at the purple and the purple with chocolate skin and yellow on chocolate skin and orange on chocolate skin. Everything. Okay, so next up we have, what books do you need to read by the end of the year or before the year ends? And I need to read Long After We're Gone by Tara Harris. And it's basically a book about siblings who come together because their father is dying and they're trying to or their father has passed away and they're trying to save their family home. Now, the thing about these siblings is they each individually have their own drama going on. Like, they just got some sneaky stuff going on that they're each trying to keep hidden from one another. So I started it, but I wasn't in the right headspace to finish it. And because I was so eager to like actually read the book and enjoy the book, I didn't want to continue on not being in the right headspace and then end up hating the book because, you know, yeah. So I'm gonna try again because I really do like the premise of the book, but child, I don't know what was going on with me when I got the book, but I just was like, I think I was reading too many books at once. And yeah, favorite book / TV show you've seen this year. And I'm gonna give it to In the Tall Grass by Stephen King, and I forgot the other author's name. I'll put it on the screen. But yeah, so In the Tall Grass is a novella that I was able to knock out pretty quickly. And then that same week, I ended up watching the movie on Netflix. And I will say that the movie was better than the book, but the book was good too. It did give me creepy vibes. If you're into creepy, I think you would like this, but basically there's something going on in this field of tall grass. And you know, once you go in, do you come out? I don't know, you gotta read the book. So yeah, it was a good time. That was kind of like my first Stephen King book. He scares me as far as like reading his work because his books are thick. I thought I was thick, but his books are thick, you know. So I don't know. I want to read The Outsider, which is another like book to film adaptation, but I'm scared because that's a thick one too. So we'll see. And last but not least, best review you've written so far. And I'm gonna give it to Upstate by Kalisha Buckhorn. And I wrote a review for that book over on Instagram. I don't know, it's just something about the way that I worded things and the music behind the photo. It's just a vibe. Okay, so Upstate, which is narrated by two people if you are going to do the audiobook, but it's one of the narrators is Chadwick Boseman. And so I listen to my books on 1.75 because I can't stand a slow talker. I need you to pick it up. And so I didn't know it was Chadwick reading because his voice was distorted because I had it on such a high speed. And I had Buddy read this book with Dee and Kim, And D was like, y'all know that's Chadwick Boseman. I was like, I completely missed that because I had the speed so high. But yeah, I really enjoyed the book. And basically a young man, he starts off, and even on the cover it says, you know, baby, the first thing I want to know is, do you believe I killed my father? And so we have a young boy. He is sent to prison, and he is so in love with his girlfriend. And this girl is so in love with him, and they're trying to figure out life without each other, and during this hard time of them being separated due to this major event of his father being killed. And so he's in prison for killing his father, but he's asking her, like, do you really think that I killed my father? I need you to let me know, you know? So we get to see how that unfolds. And it was a good read. It was a really good read, you guys. So yeah, if you resonated with any of these questions and you want to share your own answer to these questions in the comments, I'm gonna leave these questions in my description box so you guys can have them for reference if you want to come back to them and get your own little answers off. Yeah, but all right, you guys, this is a good time. I am going to be doing my book award ceremony next week, so which is basically a reading wrap up, but I'm going to be giving some long overdue awards to my favorite books from this month. And let me just say, I know we did an taste test earlier this month for the ARCs that I received from Macmillan. I'm gonna just go out here and say it. I ain't listened to none of them books. I didn't listen to not one of them. I'm a bit of a mood reader, and I just was not in the mood for none of that shit. Between the lady busting it open on the first page to the crawling in the lobby of the hotel from the other book, like, I just wasn't in the right headspace. And the beautiful thing about being an audiobook influencer for Macmillan is, like, if you read it, great. If you don't, then, I mean, if you listen to it, great. If you don't, they don't really be checking for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you want to help the authors, you know, promote their book when you can, but I just didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like it. So yeah. You guys enjoy the rest of y'all week, and I will see y'all next time.